Well
Yeah,
done.
I was just watching that Instagram video that you sent me. I
Oh,
completely
the car
agree with those
spirituality one.
conspiracies. I used to have this when people talk about, like the families that rule the world, and I
Yes.
used to say it's like, yeah, well, there is going to be a limited amount of people that control what goes on in the world. They're not
Mm,
exactly, like people's like. I'm years ago when I used to work in the car trade and I worked at a BMW dealership. This guy bought, long story short, he bought a really flash fucking latest model car. Right, it was an M5, had it specced out to the fucking max, purely to do the European tour of the Grand Prix. And as
mm.
soon as the European tour of the Grand Prix was done, he sold the car. And he did sell it because literally about 3 months after, because he basically had one of the first M5s available in Europe,
Mm.
right? And we know he sold it because 3 months later, the dealer that bought it, or the
Yeah.
car dealer that bought it, phoned us up for the details. He's like, yeah, he's already sold it, and that was because he sold it the day after the last Grand Prix of Europe because he just turned up to these Grand Prix in an M5 because no one else could have one. That's
Ah,
how
okay.
fucking. That's
Status
how
play.
rich he was. Well,
Mm.
it depends which way you look at it. So at that level, nobody ever met him. He had a guy that would buy cars for him. And this guy's name, ironically the same as mine, was David. And David was telling us he had a collection of Le Mans cars, etc., etc.
Mm.
Didn't like art, wasn't married, didn't have kids. Right?
Mm.
I don't remember what he did for a living, but obviously, and he lived in one of the most expensive residences in London. and and we were like, and as you can imagine, you're a young bloke and you're fascinated by this level of wealth and power and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
And I remember this guy David, who was a car dealer, and then this is like for the rich and famous, they never enter dealerships or garages. They have people that buy cars for them,
Yeah.
including select their number plates, and and probably pay 20 grand over what the car would have cost just for the convenience of not having to get involved. It just
Yeah.
turns up exactly as they wanted it. And he explained that if this guy made a bad financial decision, he would probably make a third of Europe unemployed.
Mm.
And then the way this guy David explained, he said, if that throws you, this bloke has a boss.
Mm.
And you're like, right, okay. And this is like, and the reason why I think he was a he was financial services hedge fund or something. So if he made a fucking bad decision, he would crash
Yeah.
the stock exchange sort of thing. But when you get up to that level, like you've seen Margin Call, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So um, Jeremy Irons' character, who flies in on the helicopter, who makes the big decision, right? Those people in every country on every continent. So that there is a limited amount of people that influence what goes on in the world.
Oh,
Because
100% there is. Yeah.
yeah, but when you
But
talk
it's
to
not a
people like
secret anymore.
but it's never been a secret. It used to just be royal families until they started actually wiping each other out. If people want to know what the royal families of Europe did to each other, look
God
up
bless
the
World War One.
photograph. World War One, but look up the photograph of the nine kings, the nine
Mm.
princes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then they went to war with each other. And I think only three of it was either three or five of the royal family lines survived. And what's crazy is they were all related to each other.
Mm.
And the picture was taken at King Albert's funeral, and they were all in one way or another related to Queen Victoria. And this is
Mm.
stretched from England to Russia, the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
continent of Europe, and they fucking killed each other in World War One for power. All right.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it like that because people think it's like conspiracy. It's like, well, what do you think they do? Do you think the whole world waits and says, "Hang on, Dorothy, who's stacking shelves at Sainsbury's, she's got an opinion on this, but she doesn't finish her shift till Friday at 9. We're just going to halt the world and ask Dorothy because she knows what's going on." It's not how the
Yeah, of course.
no. There's some very powerful people, powerful groups, and they're all in competition with each other.
Well, as Alice Roberts or Professor Alice Roberts
Yeah,
enlightened us in when we went to see her, we're all the plebs. That's literally it. We're the plebs. They're the one that play the game. And if you watch
yeah.
stuff like most people have seen Game of Thrones now, that's exactly what it is. The Game of Thrones is not real, it's fictional. But the way that it's written is very clever because it's in kind of realistic terms of literally just how family dynasties would spar with each other for power.
But Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, it was his
Yep.
depiction, a fictional depiction of World War One.
Yeah. 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 All the good books are based on the stories that have already happened with different words, different characters,
Yeah,
pretty much the same story.
yeah. But look at like before they ruined the franchise, the basic premise of Star Wars:
Yes.
evil trying to control, and somebody comes out of the ashes and defends himself. The dilemma is it's the father against the son.
Yes. Yep. Yep. There's nothing new in any of these stories
No, no.
from
Shakespeare covered
Shakespeare
all.
and Macbeth.
No, no. But the reason I mentioned Shakespeare is because in writing circles, Shakespeare covered all six genres.